As I was hanging on the rope, my son, Keenan, heard my cry. He came up, he lifted me up from the rope and threw me on the bed. I was like numb in the process, not knowing what is happening. He laid with me on the bed. He said, "Mom, what happened now?" I couldn't understand. That's not my personality. I would never take my life in the process. But as I lay there, I cried. And he cried also, and he said to me, they wouldn't succeed. If I didn't say today, they wouldn't succeed whatever they pursue with. I went around to his family. I confronted them, and they were all get on their face because they knew I supposed not to be alive that day, because that Witchcraft had to take my life that day. But my son Kenan saved my life again. The whole process, it went on and on. He sent people to monitoring me day and night. There was people in the road to see if he succeed whatever he sent. One night, I had a severe pain in my head. I lay there. I had a severe suppressing pain, like a sword going through my head, a piercing pain. I received, and I found the pastor from the church, and I asked him to come to the house to pray for me, because I know this pain is not a normal pain. This is a pain from witchcraft, and they couldn't help me in the process. And I went to take tablets to go sleep, because I couldn't sleep with that pain, because they couldn't help me, because they weren't a spiritual person as I thought they were spiritual people. It was constantly something that I was attacked. I had my dog. I had a dog, and they put dog inside my yard, and the dog ate the food, and I saw the food, but I didn't see the person that put the food, because I came too late to see the person putting the dog food in my yard. But my dog ate it, and after he ate this dog food I gave him to eat, he started to attack me. He attacked me wherever I go, and wherever I walk, he will walk after me. He became like aggressive towards me. And you know, I love dogs, but that dog, what he ate that day, what they gave him that day, for him to be aggressive for me, he wanted to put me, like over and over. I cried that day. I took the dog at his bell. I take the dog to them. I told them, this I know what you gave us to. I walk with him opposite, because I know who planted there. I went face to face to the people that planted that food for my dog there in the yard. And I gave them the dog, and I told them, if I saw this dog again on my property, I will call the police, because it's supposed to not to be on my property. That's the things I had to experience, what Eugene sent to me in the process to take my life. He was watching me, monitoring me. He sometimes followed me. I knew that he stole our car, and he bought a Hyundai white, a minibus. And I saw wherever I go, I saw that minibus, wherever to do with law and things I had to expose him. He was always there, watching me. I knew the Hyundai minibus with dark glasses, I knew it was him. If I had to go to lawyers, anything to do with police, or whatever law to do, he was always there with that minivan. He sold our car, and he bought that minivan, a white Hyundai minivan. and he used that pain to monitoring me and in following me wherever is it not, he followed me. If I want to Uber to someone to expose him, to give papers, work papers for work colleagues, he's there. He always closed the door for me. And one day, I told my sister-in-law how he following me, and that's the day. After a year, he phoned to her house, and I told her, do you know, you see, how do I know I'm here? Because he's following me. And he told my sister-in-law that the pension fund that I apply for, was looking for me, and I must come to them this Friday. And I told her, tell him that you will give it the message. And she put the phone down, and I told her after that, you see what's happening. I told her he's following me everywhere, and I know that is a plot to get me out of the house where I've stayed, to get me on the road, because I told her, I know something's gonna happen to me the Friday. I still went, take the bus through to the pension time, and I came there, and they told me they never found me. They were never looking for me, and I knew it was again a plot. He was planning against me. As I walked down to the bus stop taking a bus, at once I became tired. At the bus stop, I became very, very tired. I just wanted to sleep. I went into the trance, and the only thing that came, there was no buses or nothing. A taxi came, and I got in the taxi. I didn't know even where the taxi is going, but I told him wherever the taxi is gonna go, I need to put my head down in the taxi because I can't keep my eyes open. I was in a sleep. The taxi drive through the main road for 25 minutes. They rode with me in the taxi, and the 25 minutes I gave my taxi fare, and I told him I can't keep my eyes open. I don't know what's happening, but please drop me. I need to be in Mitchell's plane. And I promised me they're gonna help me in the process. I came in Mitchell's plane. I was still feeling like that, sleeping, didn't want to walk. I take the next taxi to home. I came home, and I just wanted to lay down. I came home, I lay down, and I slept. I slept for 2 hours. I couldn't keep my eyes open that day. And I know this witchcraft that they used against me was trying again against me, because that day, even whenever we appear in court, that I will always go in that kind of trance when we go to court. And I will stand over a bridge, and I will stand there, and I want to throw myself over, because that's how I wanted to feel on my body over the bridge, because I attending the court cases with him, and I felt like I wanted to throw my life. I wanted to take my life in the process. I wanted to throw my body over to the traffic, and I was asking God, what is this? I don't know what is this. I'm not familiar with this. I went home. I went home, and I was sleeping for 2 hours, and when I wake up, I had a spiritual pastor. I asked him, people don't talk about witchcraft or whatever. Can he tell me what's happening in the process? Because I didn't know what's happening in the process. He told me, he says spiritual people also won't tell you that information because they don't talk about how people go through witchcraft in the process. And he explained the time I got into the taxi is the time that I fall asleep till Mr. Flynn. Till I get home, I felt like that. I just want to fall asleep. He saved me. That is the time. That is the time when God was fighting for me. I said that was divine protection for you. Was divine protection. And the fight wasn't your fight. It was divine protection over you. That fight for you for 25 to 2 hours. 2 hours while you're on the road. They were fighting because you're supposed to die. You're supposed to have to be in a car, taxi accident, anything had to be happened to you that day. And I couldn't believe my eyes and I couldn't believe my ears what I heard, what they say, because Pastor said people never discuss certain things to them and people don't experience things to them, because this is the first time I'm experienced this witchcraft from sending from my husband to me. That's how I found out that I am protected. God protect me in the process. He was fighting that day because I had to lose my life that day. When I came home, when I came out of the house, the monitor, everybody was in the road to see if anything happened to me. That was constantly my life living there. It was so easy for me to move from there to give that house up because of what I had to experience in that house. And that family I had to experience every time. When I appeared court with him, what I had to go through with him for me to take my life in the process so I can not give testimony. 2019 when his dad died, that was the time he had the affair. And 2019 between 2021, that's the time I had 2020. Sorry for this. I'm sorry for this. I'm so emotional. 2019 and 20 is that time I wanted to get out of the marriage because I was severe oppressed by his witchcraft because I had 3 strokes in that 2 years. But in my marriage, I know that he knew that whatever he used in my marriage against me in witchcraft, he will succeed and oppress me in my marriage. So I supposed not to be alive today. I supposed to be dead coming out of that marriage because he didn't want me to be alive. And that was his whole plan, for me to die. But he didn't succeed in the process because God was always protecting me. And when we were separated from him, then always I didn't feel that oppression anymore. When we were separated from his age, I was at peace because that oppression of his witchcraft in our marriage was always on me. When he's around, the moment we separate from each other, and I didn't feel that oppressed anymore, and I knew then God had a mission for me. God revealed to me. But why the witchcraft in my marriage worked against me and affected my health? Married for 12 years affected my health. I became a chronic disease patient because Satan was giving me so many diseases because I broke spiritual principle against God. No matter if I walk in righteousness, but if you break the principle, spiritual principle of God, Satan has a right to attack you in many ways. So if he wants to attack you with diseases, he can attack you with diseases. While I was in that marriage, I became a chronic patient. I had all diseases. I have always needed this blood type, needed blood every second year. I have a hernia, I have Huntington disease. I had blood clots. I was like a chronic, I couldn't go work. I became a chronic disease patient at the hospital, and I couldn't work because I had to get blood transfer, and that Satan had the right to use that against me because I was out of the will of God, no matter if I walk in righteousness. But to be out of the will of God is to be in a marriage that's in an adultery, being in a marriage of adultery, and because of the marriage of adultery, Satan can come in and destroy you, and he came here to kill, steal, and destroy, no matter if you are in the path of God. But because I was out of the will of God, his curses could have affected me in my marriage. That's why he succeeded for 2 years to oppress me with that witchcraft that causes me 3 strokes. He knew that. And when I get out of that marriage, it stopped. Everything stopped. He couldn't touch me. He couldn't oppress me anymore. But sin still the whistle afterwards to take my life in the process. 2020 was my 3 strokes. Kenan lived there also, and I asked him to leave because I couldn't take that oppression. I felt that oppression over me, and I was like, I couldn't do it anymore. I felt like draining. I felt like dying. I asked him to leave because I couldn't do this anymore. Kenan said at me, I had 3 strokes, and he helped me through that stroke, also helping me in the process coming out of that marriage. So I'm thankful for my son Kenan for helping me, and he was always he's always been a child that think that he wasn't meant to be, because we always tell him that he was born through injection. He was there, not in my time, but he was born in God's time. Because I lost my brother at that time, I was pregnant with him, and I was very sad. And for me, I didn't have that bond with him because I was very sad. I lost my brother in the process, and he is my son. I couldn't give him that kind of love. And he had this bond with his father ever since he had this bond with his father, because I couldn't bond with him. And I told him, it's not because I didn't love you. He wasn't part of my plan. And God showed me today, that's why he was born to you, so he can save you from, and help you in the process to save you from that witchcraft. When I hang there, he's the one that was there, lifting me up, throwing me into the bed. He was the one. When Eugene left me for 3 strokes, he was the one looking after me. After that, he was the one at my side. That's why I'm always thankful for him, for being by my side no matter what. But he been at my side all the time. That's why I can give God the glory for saving me, coming out of that abusive marriage and witchcraft used against me in the process, because he had the right way to do it, to oppress me, because I was out of the will of God, being in a marriage that was not blessed by God. So that gave him the right way in my marriage to do the things he did. I saw a lot. He stole even the car. The day I asked him to leave, he locked me and Keenan up in the house. He got the spare key and he stole the car, and I never couldn't get the car. From that day I couldn't get it back. Been fighting at court for the car, but I couldn't get it back. He had always something planned, plots and planned. He knew the system. His family know the law. They connected with the law. So whatever I do, I didn't succeed with for the 3 years we law concerned, because they fully connected to the law with the witchcraft and to bribe people in the law to do things for them unlawfully. They got people in high places in the court so they can succeed with everything they want to do in court. If they want to fraud or want to bribe people, they will do it. To bribe people and to fraud people, they will do it, because they got that connection in the law. His family got that connection in the law. So you want to con the person, you can con the person, because they are criminals. In the process I had to learn. When I get out of this family, I learned that they are very, very high criminals that will con people, that will steal from people, that will do many things in court. And for all these years, I don't know, they've been getting away by court cases. And no matter how high the crime they were in their siblings, in the children always got away easy. I don't know, they were using that time to witchcraft at court. No, he was always bragging, and I didn't know bragging was that. He was always bragging that his mom, his son will take his mom to court, and everybody will take her to court. So everybody that take her to court will always succeed in what they did. So whatever the cases against them, they will win the cases. So it will make sense today for me, because of why I was married to that person. Only when I got out of that marriage, God revealed all the things, because of all the things they did to me in the process. The house he stole, even the house from me. He stole my phone the few months before I asked him to leave. Was the few months he stole the phone and blamed Keenan for the phone. And he used somebody in the road to come into the house while I was sleeping, to steal the phone next to me on the table. And he knew at that time. I phoned him at work. I told him I'm going to take a nap, because I was on medication, and he knew the medication I will sleep till 12 o'clock. And he knew that's the time he can come in, send that person to come into the house and stole the phone. And he did it, and they blamed Keenan at the end of the day, because we knew the lies he told him and his friend in that road, how they make Keenan so bad in that road. That Keenan is a gangster and all those things. He made Keenan so bad. He badmouthed Keenan that people believe what he said about Keenan. So I even believed that Keenan stole the phone. I didn't believe Keenan stole the phone. He made me believe in people that go against me and go against Kingdom, that he stole the phone, for stealing the phone. Why he stole the phone? Because I was connected with the bank, and the bank will tell me, phone me, what are you going to sign? Because this is happening at the bank. He's doing that. And because the bank didn't have my number, they couldn't phone me. And that's 6 months before I moved. Wanted to go through the house. He went to the bank and I knew half and half of the property will become him and half is mine. And I knew that at least I will have like 150,000 to start over from the property. And he went into the bank and he made a second bond. Took a second bond out without me knowing because they couldn't contact me. And when I went to the bank and asked them, when I already moved out of the house, he already did it, he told them why I couldn't sign, because I'm not in my full senses. That's why I couldn't sign with the second one, because I was diagnosed with Huntington's disease and he used the disease against me, and I wasn't a mental person, and he told him I'm a mentally patient. So that's what he got away. So when the house got sold, I had nothing from the house because he already took the money from the house and benefit from the house. So I gave the house because of that. I couldn't save the house because it's supposed to be $500,000. I had to pay back to the house if I want to keep the house. And there was no benefit for me. I'm not going to let me and my children suffer under what he's doing. He already stole everything from me. When I got out of that marriage, I was in the will of God. And that's why everything worked for me in the process. And he couldn't touch me with this witchcraft anymore. That's why he's been trying for 3 years to take my life in the process, because it's worked when I was married to him, because I was out of the will of God. Because a spiritual principle I break being married to him was under adultery. So my marriage was built on adultery, and that's why he could succeed whatever he oppressed onto me. But when I separated from him, I was also separated from that curse also, and I divorced from him. I was also separated from that cause, from that curse. And being separated from my curse, I got my health back. I got my health is 100%. I don't have Huntington's disease anymore. I don't have aortic negative blood type. I don't have a hernia anymore. I don't have no blood clots, nothing at all. I'm a 100% healthy person, not on one medication. That's how God healed me in the process, me coming out of this abusive marriage in witchcraft. So I want to give God all the glory. I just want to give Jesus all the glory. Where I am today, because of Jesus Christ, He saved my life. Because I chose life today when I asked Him to live, today when I choose God. And when I choose God, I choose life. That's why I can give my testimony today. Because for 3 years, they sent me into witchcraft, thinking that's going to work against me. Because it worked against me when I was married with him, because what was out of the will of God. Now I'm in the will of God, and I'm fully protected by him. Sometimes it will interfere with my speeches, because I have to give testimony. But I will rebuke it in the name of Jesus. He's the only one that can save you from this witchcraft, because Jesus saved me from this witchcraft, so I couldn't die in the process. So I'm giving him the glory, because his word says in Ephesians 5 verse 11, take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. So I'm only doing the will of God and being obedient to his word. That's why I'm exposing witchcraft in my life. Thank you. That's why I'm exposing witchcraft in my life. The witchcraft courts they use for all their families and the children has made the prosecutors confused in the process, that they will go free in the process. They will be going to high crimes. Only when I got out, I saw the high crimes they do in court. They may reveal the things that they did to me, that they've been doing all these years against other people. So they did it against me and think they're gonna succeed to taking my life in the process. But they didn't succeed, because God saved me and Jesus saved me. Through the blood of Jesus, he saved me.